Hey there everybody, welcome to another episode of Bert's Bike. Today we're going to go ahead and tune the Bonneville with a TTP tune, tune 4 to be exact. They said that would be the best one for the Odin pipes that I have. So come along with me, I'll take you through the process. Hey there everybody, today is the day that we tune the T100. And for those of you who have been watching my videos, this is the last step I think you're going to need once you make all your mods. For me, I went with the Motone Odin exhausts, I went with the Airbox Baffle Delete and High Flow Air Filter. I also removed the O2 sensors and did the AI Delete. Now there are many different ways to go about tuning your T100, but for me, I decided to go with Triumph Twin Power, and the reason why I went with them is I contacted them directly to see what tune I would need for my particular situation. So if your bike has exactly what I have, you'll need their Triumph Twin Power Tune 4 for your motorcycle. However, if you have any of the components differing from what I have, be sure to email them or look up on their website what exact tune you need for your particular setup. Also, I have to add that the customer service from TTP was very thorough and detailed, which in my book is a very big deal. A little side note here is that Triumph Twin Power only really works with Windows computers, so you'll want to go to their website and make sure your computer meets the specs for this. Also, I went ahead and got their OBD cable to USB, and that seemed to work pretty well for my setup. I highly suggest using their OBD cable. It's really important not to cheap out on this because you could have some connection issues. Once you buy the tune from TTP, it comes with a download link. But before you load in the tuner, make sure you download the drivers for the OBD cable before you plug in the OBD cable. And what happens is if you just plug in your OBD cable, Windows will try to install the drivers it thinks it needs versus the ones that TTP provides. And if you do it backwards, you'll have to go through a big song and dance for taking the old drivers off and installing the new ones. So please install the drivers before firing up the software or plugging in your OBD cable. Here we are underneath the bike. This is your OBD port. Slide that out. Plug in your OBD cable first to the bike and then to your laptop. Another thing you'll want to do is you'll want to pull the headlight fuse and also plug in a battery charger or tender, but a charger is really better for this, just so the battery doesn't die when you're turning the bike on and off multiple times. Also keep your laptop plugged into the wall and on the charger at all times. Once you get everything downloaded from the website, I would probably disable your Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connections just so there's no interruptions when trying to install this tune. Once you have everything ready to go ahead and turn the bike on and put the kill switch to the run position. After that, go ahead and start up the tune loader. Alright, now with that booted up, there should be an LED flashing on the lower right of the window. Now mine's flashing red right now, but it'll go through flashing red and orange, and then finally green. If it doesn't connect the first time, you're going to get this pop-up window that says turn the bike on and off and all this other stuff. However, instead of doing that, if you read the instructions, TTP just want you to hit the cancel button and continue waiting for a connection on the motorcycle. Now this is where you really need to be patient because it could take up to 15 minutes for the bike to actually make a solid connection. And this is actually the most tedious part of the whole process. Some people report an instant connection, and some people like me, it takes actually the whole 15 minutes for it to do it. In my particular case, it didn't really go that smoothly. It was stuck at the red light for a while, hit the cancel button, and then it was amber and red, and then was stuck there for over 15 minutes. If this is the case, you're going to want to exit out the program, restart everything, and start the process over again. As you can see, this is why I said it's the most tedious process of the whole thing. After restarting, it seemed to connect right away, and I got that green light. Once you're in, it's going to ask you if you have your O2 sensors connected or disabled. I have mine disabled, so I went ahead and just left it here at this stock setting. And then you'll get an option here to change your rev limit. I just left mine stock, and that's 8,500 RPM. Now it's time to load in the tune. And here it's going to give you a warning. It says the motorcycle must not be running before you load the tune in. So the bike needs to be on but not running. If you haven't done so already, remove fuse 9 so that the headlight is not draining the battery. Then go ahead and hit that download button. Now this may take some time, but I wouldn't get up and walk away. I would just keep an eye on it and make sure those percentage markers keep moving up. You can keep track of its progress by this little bar at the bottom. Once it's at 100%, you'll hear the bike make some noises and you'll hear it kind of restart as if you've turned the key on and off. So since there's a new map on the bike now, it's going to try to connect again to read the codes off the ECM. Now it's going through the same process of the red, amber, and green light, so you might be here for several more minutes waiting on this to reconnect. Now that the bike is reconnected, you're going to get some error codes if you removed your O2 sensors and also if you removed your AIS system. Go ahead and clear these. If you don't manually clear them, you're going to have a check engine light on your dash. Now that those are cleared, it's time to move on to the reset adaptation phase.
Reset. First part complete. Now turn off your ignition and wait for the green LED light to extinguish. Alright, so the light went out, now we're at this screen. The purpose of this procedure is to idle your engine from cold without touching the throttle until TPS LED on the monitor page turns green or the engine oil temperature reaches 70 degrees Celsius, whichever the sooner. So this indicates the procedure is complete and you can turn off the ignition. Replace fuse 9, your engine will not start without it. Now turn on your ignition and wait for the connection LED to flash green. Once connected, pull the cold start knob and idle the engine. Push it back as soon as the engine can idle without the cold start knob. Now press your monitor button at the top of the page to monitor the engine.
So here we are again waiting for that green light to turn on to get a connection to the bike before we can crank the bike on. Remember, this could take a few tries, just don't get frustrated and keep with it. This is why I say this is the most tedious part, just waiting for the bike to connect. Now with it connected, let's go ahead and idle that engine. Now with the bike idling, you're going to want to monitor the engine on the monitor page, and you're waiting for the bike to get to 70 degrees Celsius or for the TPS light to turn green. So we're trying to get the temperature 70 degrees Celsius so that TPS light can kick on. But if you idle it for 20 minutes, everything should probably have reset already, so shouldn't be a big deal either way. Also, you can see that the check engine light is turned off, so things look like they're doing what they're supposed to do. Alright, so the TPS light turned green, and we're almost to 70, so let's see. Also, the throttle position sensors look like they're within 10 of each other, so that looks pretty good. Now they've been kind of bouncing back and forth, 10 up, 10 down kind of thing, so looks like it'll be alright. Put it now so you can apparently cut it off when that light kicks on or when it reaches 70, so we're good. Guys, that was pretty straightforward. The only thing I have to say about this whole process is waiting for that, the bike to talk to the computer multiple times. You know, it's about a 10-minute wait in between, at least for me it was. So plan more than enough time that you're going to need for anything you're working on with the bike. All right, let's take it for a ride and see how it goes. Baby, oh man. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment below. It's Bert's Bike, and I'll catch you on the next one.